On tonight's car program.
I defy the laws of physics. Hello and welcome to a new episode of Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. Today we got this thing out for like the first time in ever that I've actually had this out. Back there you can see a pretty American vehicle, although it doesn't have a diesel. Yeah, a supercharged V8 in this thing. Dude, this thing will probably do like, I can only imagine how fast that would be to 0 to 60. And in this thing we just have a normally aspirated V6. Not really much crazy about that. This is the amount of horsepower and stuff that it makes. It's a little bit higher than it is stock. And then you get this thing. To say the least, this thing is pretty powerful. This is the 392 Hemi. Well, it is a 392 Hemi. Yeah, that speaks for itself. Then yeah, this big boy over here. You know, it's not the diesel, so the torque curve is a lot different than the diesel. It's a lot more smooth, not how like the diesel would be, where it kind of goes up and then it goes up even higher. But anyway, it makes a lot of torque at very low RPM, and it makes a lot of power. It makes almost as much power as my Hellcat. Also, yeah, that sort of happened. So I think that for off-roading, this is going to be the best. This will be second. This will be third. Although I don't know, because I just put on these off-road wheels, and they're pretty good. Slick tire. Those are not slicks. Those are not slicks. I don't know what's up with those two things. But I think that this one's going to do the best. And yes, I know I'm saying that this one's going to do the worst, but you'll see. It's not because the truck is bad. It's because the game didn't design the truck that good. Okay, here we are in the supercharged V8 hatchback. So right now I'm using a controller. Yeah, right here is pretty good. Let's get to an outside cam. Although there is a few issues. One is that your license plate is, well, yeah, there's that. And then the suspension does not line up at all. But besides that, I mean, like, then there's also front-wheel drive. So the question is, can we make it up a steep slope like this? With standard tires, I know we can't. But with off-road tires, nope, we still can't. Yeah, that's not how you go up, because you want a lot of static friction. You don't want a lot of kinetic friction. So look, so if you're doing this, you have a lot of kinetic friction. If you kind of give it a little bit of throttle, you have more static friction. Like right now, I have a lot more static friction, which is what you want. You want to be able to put your torque down really low and in your RPM range. But yeah, this decided that it didn't want to do that. So a little bit of a bump there. Yeah, English is definitely not my first language. Now over here, I don't get it. Why haven't they noticed that's glitchy? You saw when my wheel got shoved down into the ground. Now, let's go over some of these rocks, which the Wrangler actually does not do as good as this when it comes to the rocks. Because of all the ground clearance that this has, that I manually I took the ride height and I just increased the number. The question is, with a tiny bit of speed, so about going 20 kilometers per hour, can you make it up this? So what I want to do is about that speed is what I want to do. So about 10 to 20 kilometers per hour is what I want to test a lot of these cars at. Nope, this one isn't going to make it up. Okay, it almost did, but nope, it didn't. So that's how easily I can get up onto this thing right here. This is a fully open front differential. But yeah, that works pretty well getting up there. Now we're going to go onto this thing right here. Ugh, that really messes with your wheels. Just watch this. It's going to so mess with my wheels. Yeah. And yeah, this thing right here. So overall, this is pretty good. But not as good as the Wrangler or the Jeep, as you'll see in a moment. And here's the Jeep Wrangler. So let's go to the outside camera. And yeah, it's not the fastest. But here's the thing. It doesn't have to be. This thing is made to go off-road. See, so it really is this way today, where if a Jeep can't go somewhere, you might want to consider trying to go somewhere else. So it's a little bit of speed. Yeah, it goes up just fine, but if you're at a standstill, no. But if you hold the parking brake into this, which doesn't really make too much sense to me, but actually it sort of does, because the wheels have a lot of grip, but there just isn't enough torque there to go up this huge hill. And there we go, we're up it. Whereas the other car, it just had plenty of torque and power, but it just did not have the traction. So now if we go over here and go onto this thing, or just fly over it. Yep, that totally works too. As you can see there, we definitely don't have as much ground clearance. Now, if we just go over some of this stuff, yeah, we definitely don't have as much ground clearance as that stupid little hatchback that I made. But who would actually do that to a hatchback? I'm pretty sure no one has actually done that. Actually, this world is filled with just crazy people, so there probably is someone that has done that before. But anyway, let's see, can we go over this stuff? And looks like it, yep. Although I am flooring it at the moment. So, there, that's, yeah. Going up this though, yeah, completely fine. Now here's the thing, even if we go like right here, you'll see that the Jeep struggles to go up it. Even when you floor it. But let's try to go up that little hill over here. I have no clue what your Jeep this is anyway. Okay, so I need to back up and get about 20 kilometers of speed. And that wasn't 20 kilometers per hour. There, that's just over 20, which works perfectly. So the other car, yeah, it didn't work. This car, and yeah, it's pretty good. Now, if we hit this rock here, it completely, I mean, this, what the, I didn't know the ground was just a layer of sand or dirt, and then the sky. I didn't know the sky was inside the earth. Oof. Yeah, look at it. There's So now let's switch to the, I'm gonna say, Ford-F350. No, actually, we're gonna leave that for last. We're gonna go to the Jeep Grand Cherokee now. So here I am in this thing. Instantly, you know, it's pretty obvious that once you start up a car, it's obviously at operating temperature. As you can see down there from that little gauge. So, you know, pretty cool. And, okay. Hello. Anyway, this thing going over terrain. Oh yeah, this thing will eat everything up. I'll just watch this. Stop. And then, the amazing thing is that I'm not spinning the wheels. A little bit, but that's just in the front. Like, and it just goes up with hardly any wheel spin. These are very, very capable vehicles, even though a lot of people will not even take these off-road. Someone who buys a Wrangler is a lot more likely to take their Wrangler off-road, because most people who buy a Jeep Grand Cherokee are soccer moms. Okay, stuck. I reached it. So this thing, yeah, I mean, like, you can go over some of these rocks, but some of them are just, yeah, so we're just gonna skip this section. And just climb this hill like it's nothing, and that's as easy as it is. You can see you got those holes in the hoods for, I guess, cooling the engine, because they look, yep, they look pretty real. That's like how the Chevy Silverado Heavy Duty has a hood scoop, which does 40% of the engine cooling. Yeah, we also can't, so rocks are not necessarily the strong point in this car. You don't want to be rock crawling in this. But anyway, we know it's going to do well there, so let's just go. Yeah, pretty good. So let's see about. That's just under. That was just under 20 kilometers per hour. Yep, now it made it up there. Good level. What the heck? I don't know how to I don't know how to describe what's going on. Well, I guess now we're gonna go to the Ford F-150. Sorry, I mean F-350. So let's see what it's like when I control this with the mouse and keyboard. But you can hear the issue already. It's almost like the side steps are 20 times lower than they actually are, so it continuously scrapes, even though it's not scraping. As you can see there, it should have turned, but it didn't because it thought it was scraping. So, yeah. Even for something like this, like, let's just look at it. So, I should be able to clear that, even though it says that I'm hitting it. Then you have to do more of getting around stuff. But once you're actually just going up, it just glides up without any wheel spin at all. Although, I can feel it, it feels like it's having a little bit more trouble than my Jeep Grand Cherokee, because it's, you know, it doesn't have the horsepower to the torque of it. Yeah, so this truck should be doing better than all of them, pretty much. Although the Jeep Wrangler is actually really, really good at off-roading. So I would expect this to be the second best, but it's not because of that. If this were real life, I would expect it to go Jeep Wrangler, a Ford-F350, Jeep Grand Cherokee, and then that weird hatchback. Anyway, so I guess that concludes this episode. So hopefully you liked this episode, and goodbye.